Hey there YouTube fans, AC Productions here, and today I'm going to be showing you on how to install a starter cable, which is this guy right here. This along with a power bank. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the power bank. So here is the power bank, here is the cable set. We're going to install this directly to the battery, and this is what it's going to do, is going to allow us to use this power bank to be able to start up the motorcycle. Now the reason you're asking, why am I going to do this, or why am I installing this cable for, to start my motorcycle starts up just fine. Now that could be true for your motorcycle. Let me show you for my bike here on what's going on with mine. This could be true to yours, who knows? You may have just bought a used bike and it has, you don't know when the person bought the battery or whatever. Maybe it's on its last legs, or maybe it's in the middle of its life. But this is going to help you guys in case you ever get stuck out there. If you don't know how to run, push, start your bike, having just a portable battery pack like this handy with you, it doesn't have to be this big. It could even be a smaller one, could save you from being stranded out there. So let me show you real quick what's going on with me on my bike. See, as you can see, I can turn on the bike right here. Obviously the screen turns on, but when I push the button to start up the bike, this is all I get. I could hear the priming of the fuel, that's what you hear there, but yet the bike doesn't want to start. And the reason that's happening is because the battery is low. Again, it doesn't need that much juice to turn on the screen, but it does need a little bit more power to actually turn on and turn over the bike. So the location of where I'm going to be installing these cables is going to be underneath the passenger side seat. Now, obviously, I have a rear tail bag that I normally, always carry with me. I'm going to go ahead and remove this so you can get access. For you, you may not even have this at all on your back seat. So if my bike, whatever, gets stalled, I'm going to have to remove this every time I want to get to the back seat. A little bit of a pain in the butt, but I don't see this happening very often, but if in case of an emergency, I'll know I have that. So let me go ahead and remove this, then I'll show you how to get this connected. All right, so before we get to, as you can see, I already removed the bag. Now, before we get to actually getting to this piece, what you need to do first is going to remove these side panels down here. It's going to be with a 4mm Allen key, a screw here on this side. Make sure you remove for both sides because you need access to the battery. So one on this side, one on the other side. Once you go ahead and remove that, it's going to be a 5mm Allen key to remove a screw over here, one on this side, and one on the other side. Once you remove those two screws, go ahead and lift up your main seat, and now you have access to the battery. So now that we have access to the battery, now we want to go ahead and grab our key, and we want to get access to the back passenger seat. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Go ahead and turn it and lift it up. So now I have access to the back end of the seat. Go ahead and put my seat off to the side, and now let's get a closer view. So as you can see on my bike, I pretty much don't have too much space back here. This is the receiver for my heated gear, and that's back here. You guys may not have anything over here. And then I got a little bit of space here. This on and off switch is for the custom DRLs that I made. Video for that's coming a little bit later, as I want to kind of get these smaller videos out and uploaded. So right now I'm going to go ahead and grab this cable right here. So I'm going to go ahead and look for a spot, guys, and then once I do, I'll show you how to connect the cables. Now, if you notice in other videos that I do, that I normally clip these cables and make it a seat to make it really easy to install, but in this particular situation I may just leave it intact just like this, install it that way. But let me go ahead and find a spot, and then I'll show you that next part. I wanted to show you about this danger explosion thing. Pretty much saying for you not to leave your power bank connected to this as you're riding, because a lot of voltage is kind of going through it to start the bike, and you definitely don't want that. So that's just showing you that. For me, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of roll this up on the cable. I'm not going to take it off, but I'm just going to kind of keep it there, roll it up, put a little zip tie on it, hold it in place. Let me show you that in a second. All right, so here's how it looks like with the zip tie. So it's the warning is still there. If I ever happen to sell the bike, at least it's there and they know. The good thing also about this particular cable is now they finally incorporated a little boot to cover the terminal. I installed this exact same connector on the R3, which is over there, and it didn't have this rubber boot to connect it. So what I use is just a piece of electrical tape to cover the terminal so nothing gets inside and shorts it. But the new version has the boot, which is really awesome. You can just go ahead and cover it when you're not using it, and when you do need to use it, you just take it out, use it, and then cover it back up. So that's a really cool, neat option that they do that now. Alrighty guys, so I did find a spot on the bike to put the cable. Now unfortunately, I'm kind of limited of where I can put it, just because there is really not that much length of cable. As you can see, the negative is a lot more shorter than the positive. So really, I'm kind of just left with this area over here. So in order to get it to that area, we're going to have to remove this piece. It's going to be with a 4mm Allen key on this side and on that side. Well, it looks like I'm already missing a screw there on both sides for you guys. And then you're going to pop these pins out. Now let me show you the tool that I'm using to pop those pins. It's going to be this plastic pry tool with this like little fork spot right here. One end, we're just gonna go ahead and grab it in there. Grab it, pop it out. You can see it's kind of sticking out a little bit. I'm gonna use the forky part and kind of get on the bottom and lift it out just like this. And do that for both. And then let me go ahead and remove that. Since I only have one, I'll just keep the camera recording. So now that we got both of those, all those pieces pretty much removed, now we're gonna go ahead and remove this big plastic piece. You're gonna have to like pretty much, you know, see if you can just, you know, pop it or kind of like spread it out a little bit on the plastic to get this part out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Camera's kind of in my way, that's why I can't really just do it right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. You guys do the same. Make sure that you're very careful when spreading this out. You just need enough to get this part out of there. Okay, now that I got this plastic piece already loosened, now I'll go ahead and slide this in. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try to be careful there. So now we got this part exposed. I'm gonna go ahead and just slide this piece underneath this brace. So, oh, and also by the way, guys, I decided to put a few little zip ties. One here, one over here, one here. For now, just to kind of keep all the cables nice and tidy. So let's go ahead and feed the cables through there. All right, so now we have that here. And pretty much it's gonna be the cable, the end part of this is gonna be pretty much around over here. Not really where I really wanted it to be to begin with, but like I said, it doesn't really give you too much option for length of cabling. So I'm just gonna put it there for now. And then we are going to kind of tuck this part in as best as I can. Pretty much there. You want to make sure that you're careful with this little circuit board here. You definitely don't want to damage it. All right, so now we got that. So I'll get this part there. It should be around there. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this part out, and then I'm gonna go ahead and connect the positive and negative. A little tip, in order for the bolt not to fall all the way through, you could grab a little piece of zip tie or something kind of flexible, and then you're going to kind of put it in. So let me get a little bit more closer shot so you guys know what I'm talking about. So here's the end part of the zip tie that I just finished cutting from the ones that I strapped there. So it's just a little end piece, and what you want to do is you are going to put it into that slot right over there. So I'm just going to go ahead and make like kind of like a little bit of an L shape on the leftover zip tie. Now it looks like this, and I'm just going to kind of slide it in there, and yeah, it should work. So you just want to have it like that. Now the reason for that is that when you loosen up the nut's not going to completely fall down, and if it does, it's going to fall on the little plastic part. So if it does, all you do is just grab the tip of this, and then you're able to bring the nut up and then screw it back in. Therefore, it makes it a lot easier instead of the nut completely falling down and trying to get it, you know, to get it rethreaded onto the bolt, or the screw for that matter. So you want to do this for both the negative and on the positive side. Make it tricky, but just be patient and you'll get it. Also, by the way, guys, the size for the nut is going to be a 10mm socket, both for positive and on the negative side. Alrighty, guys, now here it is, already connected to the negative, already connected to positive. I kind of ran it through here through the back. It's already there. Boot's protecting everything. Cable runs through here, up through here, and I was able to kind of get this kind of over in this area. Really, you don't want to get it up here in this little square part, because the back end of the release right here actually goes in that pocket area, so you definitely don't want it there. So pretty much right where this connector is perfect. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the plastic piece back on there, and I may be able to, no, I guess not. As far as here, it's pretty much going to live right there for the connector, so I may just kind of tuck it there as best as I can to get it a little bit out of the way. All right, so time to connect this. You guys put the piece back as well. Okay, everything's already put back, and I actually found another screw that I could put over there, and it works. All right, so now we got our little our connector right here. So if I ever need it, I could just undo the boot, put my power bank to it, and be able to start up the bike, which we'll do in a second. So, and unfortunately, that's as much as the cable as I could get. All right, so now to go ahead and put everything back on. So besides obviously the passenger seat, but I am going to put the main seat and the plastics back on. Alrighty, guys, now that we got that part already gone, now we're going to go ahead and we are going to grab our power bank. Now the port for the power bank is on this particular one. It's going to say jumper cable. Little flap, just open it up, and the connector could only go in one way. As you can see, the bottom part is like a square, and the top part is a little arch to it. So really, this thing could only go in one way. All right, so we're going to go ahead and going to get that there, and then we are going to lift up the boot and somehow maneuver it to get it on there. All right, might get a little tricky because I have the camera right in front of me. Gonna go ahead and plug that in. All right, now that we have that part plugged in like that, next we're gonna do is we are going to turn on the power, and then we're gonna go straight to the front and turn the key, and that's gonna help give that extra power that we need to start up the bike. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now that you have the power bank on, I put the camera a little bit lower so you guys could see. So once I turn this on and turn on the bike, it's going to be a little hard to hear me, but after we turn it on, you want to make sure that you remove the power bank, go for your ride. And after a little while of riding, it should charge the battery enough where you'll be fine. In case if it's not fine, get your power bank, redo the process again, and get you back home safely. So I'm going to go ahead and do that so you guys can hear everything. See, the battery indicator lights are coming on. All right, I'm going to get the thing over here. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the bike. Alright, bike is on, so you can go ahead and then remove the battery pack. And then go ahead and put the cap back on. Alright, so that's pretty much on how you do that process. And then after that, you could just go ahead and put your seat back on and then you're good to go. Alrighty guys, so that pretty much concludes the video on how to install that power cable for this MICRO START XP-1 jumper pack. And if you found this video helpful, please smash that like button. If you know anyone else that could benefit from this, please share my video. The share button is for sure down there somewhere below. Just click share, copy the link, post it all over social media, post it to a friend of yours. They may not even know about this, so this could for sure potentially help another rider out. So please do that as well. If you guys have any questions, post that down below. Also down below is the subscription box and the notification bell. Those go hand in hand. So make sure you guys press that and the other one. That way you guys are up to date with my latest installations and videos. The link for this particular battery and other battery packs will be also in the description box below. So don't forget to check out those links because that helps support the channel and helps me to get other products just like this. All right guys, bye.